The tables for the new budget are ready to be exposed because the new exchange rate in those tables is ready to be revealed. You got the CBI holding classes for their banks and employees to learn how to exchange the proper way, the proper procedure on how to do the exchanging of foreign currency in the banking structure through your banks of the CBI. This is going to be a brand new currency, a brand new rate, and all that new information has to be distributed equally and fairly so you do not have a mass confusion. That state would destroy this whole monetary reform process. Ali al-Alak, we are working on creating a digital currency for the central bank to gradually replace paper currency. I have to say this is a wow article because this effort may also force the recall of our dinars that we hold. In other words, we are allowed to exchange them at the RV rate once the digital currency is issued. If the CBI can pull this off, the RV might happen much sooner than we expect. In the coming hours, Iraq begins to resume oil exports in the Kurdistan region. The testing and checking of the pipeline went better than they expected. They are hoping to be started this weekend, starting at 185,000 barrels a day and then ramp up. This is a huge income increase for Iraq. Iraqi government bank warns against trading in digital currencies and forex activity. Quote, the Central Bank of Iraq issued a ban on cryptocurrencies in 2017, citing risks such as financial crime, volatility, and consumer protection concerns. These last 20 years, the flow of oil was paid in American dollars. Now the oil that's flowing is being paid in Iraqi dinars. Memoranda of Understanding lead Iraq to build economic partnerships with countries of the world. Trade, culture, economic exchange with neighboring sisterly and friendly countries is the most important element in building civilization and raising the value of natural resources. If they raise the value of their currency to their assets, that's huge. The valuation of that is going to be key. In other words, what they're going to do is raise the value of their dinar because that's what they're going to be doing trade in. In my view, they're not going to be doing this at 1,310 exchange rate. I don't believe that at all. To me it means raising the value of their currency. After calling for cutting funding to Baghdad, U.S. Representative, let's make Iraq great again. Quote, U.S. Republican Representative Joe Wilson called for making Iraq great again and stopping Iran's control over it, after his previous calls to stop funding Iraq. According to the American Fox News channel, Rafadain warns against using electronic payment tools in trading, digital currencies and forex. Iraqi Foreign Ministry, Öcalan's call is an important step to achieve stability in the region. Quote, the Iraqi Ministry of Foreign Affairs welcomed, on Friday, the announcement of the leader of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, PKK, Abdullah Öcalan, and his call for the party to lay down its arms. Considering this step positive and important in achieving stability in the region. One Wealth Management/Redemption Center contact told me they will be working both days this weekend. I don't know what this means or what they will be doing, but they are working a full day on Saturday and a half a day on Sunday. Confirming Shafak News. Trump is heading to impose sanctions on Iraqi groups. Notice that you didn't say Iraqi banks. No. Is he going to put sanctions on Iraqi government? Is he going to put sanctions on the CBI? Who's he putting sanctions on? Iraqi groups, framework, Maliki's militia, Iranian politicians in parliament. We had at least 2 very strong sources that were telling us that don't worry, this is going to be the week that we receive our notifications. And even though we only have 2 days left, Friday and Saturday this week, I think it's quite possible that we still will get notified and set an appointment this week. I know that one of our Redemption Center staff members is working tomorrow morning, Friday, at Wells Fargo Bank and then goes after lunch into the Redemption Center, Friday. It looks good for us to get notified and set our appointments for exchanges that would start on Saturday, the 1st of March, that is quite possible. Parliamentary finance, digital transformation in banks is progressing at an accelerating pace. Article 2, the digital currency to be launched in Iraq. Between economic opportunities and potential risks, economic expert Abdul Rahman al-Mashadani said today, Saturday, that doubts surround the approval of the 2025 budget schedules in Iraq, due to the approaching date of the elections this year. Al-Mashadani explained in his interview with Euphrates News that the elections may affect the approval of the budget to avoid it exploiting it for electoral purposes, as happened in previous years. Al-Mashadani added, it is likely to rely on the 2024 budget schedules, with the continuation of allocating financial shares to ministries as they were last year, which amounted to 211 trillion dinars. He pointed out that there is difficulty in providing the necessary funds or spending them within these specified amounts in light of the current economic conditions. The Iraqi Ministry of Interior announced, on Saturday, the suspension of granting entry visas to citizens of the United States of America, Europe, and some other Asian countries. The ministry said in an official letter addressed to the airline offices at Baghdad International Airport, and received by Shafaq News Agency, we would like to inform you that as of tomorrow, March 2nd, it has been decided to stop granting entry visas, upon arrival, to the countries mentioned below. She added, the countries are the United States of America, China, Russia, the United Kingdom, Australia, South Korea, Japan, New Zealand, Switzerland, and the European Union countries. Accordingly, all travelers must apply for a visa in advance via the website, she added, stressing that please ensure that all travelers coming to Iraq obtain an electronic entry visa via the dedicated platform, before being accepted on flights. The CEO of the National Iranian Gas Company and Iran's Deputy Oil Minister, Saeed Tovakoli, announced today, Saturday, that Iraq will obtain temporary permits to import Iranian gas. Tovakoli said in press statements that Iraq always obtains temporary permits to import Iranian gas, so that it can secure its needs for this vital material, adding, we assumed that this situation would be repeated and that an exception would be granted to Iraq. These statements came in response to the news that was recently circulated about the decision to ban Iran's gas exports to Iraq on March 8. Tovakoli also stressed that the situation will be exceptional within the framework of the ongoing cooperation between the two countries. These statements coincided with an announcement by the Iraqi Undersecretary of Oil for Gas Affairs, Izzat Saber, last Friday, that the Iraqi government is studying the possibility of importing gas from Qatar and Algeria after US President Donald Trump's decision to cancel the exemptions that allowed Iraq to import gas and electricity from Iran, noting that this step comes within the package of new sanctions imposed on Iran. For years, Iraq has relied heavily on imports of gas and electricity from Iran, especially during the summer, and has benefited